I left you guys in Nigeria and I'm back in German. Somebody shout power. Say hello to the latest night German. I just became a German citizen, you guys, and I'm really happy. But to be honest, I don't even feel otherwise because I've felt integrated in this country for quite a while now. I've been here for 6 years. Previously, in many videos back, I have shared the general process of applying for citizenship in Germany. But in this video, we're going to talk about my own process, how I went about it. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been wondering why and how I went about applying for this passport. If you've tried applying for a visa outside of Nigeria, you know how difficult it is, especially for the first world countries. You know how much challenges we experience, how much documents we need to provide for us to be able to apply for these visas.
I recently applied for a Schengen visa and I got denied.
Why do I need a visa to everywhere I want to go to?
Even in Africa, as Africans, we still have to apply for a lot of visas, and sometimes you might get denied.
So basically, I wanted freedom. I wanted the ability to travel to whatever country that I want to travel without having to worry about visa this, visa that, bring this document, bring that document, being denied. As a matter of fact, I've been here for 6 years and I've always wanted to go to the UK, but because I know that they deny a lot of Nigerians, I have a friend who has been denied 3 times for no just cause. And I told myself, you know what, I don't want that heartbreak. I really don't want that situation whereby I go to apply for something that I know that I am very well qualified for and then I'm rejected. For what reason? No reason at all. Possibly because of the green passport. And even in Nigeria, I've realized the 2 times that I've gone home, those who have the EU passports, the American passport, they're actually given priority compared to we who are Nigerians in our own country. It's that bad. And then I look at all of these and I'm like, you know what? It's time. As soon as I was eligible, I went and I applied. Basically, the eligibility for the German citizenship is that you must have been here in Germany for a minimum of 5 years before you can apply. Or you must have been married to a German for at least 2 years and you have been residing in Germany for at least 3 years. And of course, I needed to write the B1 exam and the Einbürgerungstest or the Leben in Deutschland test. So it's basically a test that encompasses the history of Germany and it's like 33 questions where you need to answer a minimum of 17 correctly. Bear in mind that if you fail any part of the B1 exam, whether writing, hearing, speaking, or listening, you get to rewrite it. That is if you're writing TELC, okay? But yeah, that's by the way. I didn't have to bother with writing. I wrote it once and I aced it. Glory be to God. So after my results were out, I needed to call the Einbürgerungsstelle in my city to make an appointment. I called them on the phone and they gave me an appointment which was like 4 weeks after the phone call, and they sent a letter by mail to my house informing me of the documents that I needed to submit to them, you know, for them to start the process. I needed to submit my erweiterte Meldebescheinigung, so you need to get this from all the cities that you have lived in Germany from your arrival until the time that you are applying, okay? I needed to submit my birth certificate, employment contract, payment slip of the last 3 months or that of your spouse if you're applying through your spouse, marriage certificates if you're applying through your spouse or under your spouse. Very important to note is that you must not be collecting Arbeitslosengeld 2 or the Hartz IV. So that's like the Bürgergeld. Yes, you must not be collecting the Bürgergeld before you even apply for German citizenship, because the moment you start collecting it, it actually hinders your chances, so to speak. But if you have collected the Bürgergeld before now and you're already working, I think for at least 20 months in the last 24 months, you can qualify for it. But generally try to stay away from Bürgergeld if you have plans of becoming a German citizen tomorrow. So the next next step was to prepare my documents. Very important, you guys. There are some documents that need to be translated from English or whatever language it's in to German language, especially your birth certificates and your marriage certificates if you're applying under your spouse and you didn't get married in any European country. So ensure that you translate these. These could delay your application process if you don't have them translated. So if at any point you're not sure what documents need translation besides your birth certificate or your marriage certificate, then please reach out to the Einbürgerungsstelle, because sometimes you could also be asked to translate your Zeugnisse, your certificates that were not gotten in Germany. Okay, so it's very important to note that all of these documents preparation must be done during the waiting time before the submission of your application, before the appointment you've been given. So the reason why they give you that period of 3 to 4 weeks is to give you enough time to gather your documents, your erweiterte Meldebescheinigung, to contact whatever cities you have lived in Germany, to get these documents together before your appointment, okay? So, with regards to submitting the documents, it's very important. I was taught, and I would also recommend to you to ensure that the same way the documents were listed for you to produce in the checklist, that is the same way you're going to arrange the originals and the photocopies. It actually makes you look more put together, and trust me, your handling officer will be very happy if you do so, okay? So for me, on the day of the handover, I took all my documents with me, original and photocopies, to the office and, submitted them, and we started the conversation.
Ich hüpfe mal hin und her, wo ich gerade bin.
That was shortly before the elections that happened this year. We spoke a lot, about the possibilities, the outcomes, the consequences of whatever parties that were going to emerge winners. It was an interactive session. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that some people, on the day of their submission, they can meet a handling officer that decides to ask them questions regarding the Leben in Deutschland test that you have written. So ensure that you prepare yourself just besides the test you have written. Like, ensure that you know what you wrote in the test, because you could be asked 1 or 2, 3 questions based off that test that you have written. I was fortunate, I was not asked any of those. I was just, engaged in a conversation, probably to gauge my level of speaking and all of that. And I submitted my documents, I made the payments, and I left. So speaking of payments, in another video, I'm going to talk about the actual cost of applying for the citizenship, the passport, and all of that, yada yada. Okay? Now we're going to be talking about the waiting time of the application. To be honest, this varies. It depends on your city. Some cities, they are not overly populated and they don't have so many people applying for naturalization. So the processing time can last anywhere from 3 months to 6 to 9 months to even 1 year. I heard in Berlin, sometimes it gets up to 2 years. So it really depends on your city, and it depends on the kind of workload, the backlog that they might have. For me, it took 6 months. So basically I applied in January this year and I got called in. So on the day of naturalization, all I needed to do was to show up with my ID card, my Aufenthaltstitel, because I had to turn that in to enable me get the certificate.
Das ist das Grundgesetz und die Gesetze der Bundesrepublik Deutschland achten und alles unterlassen werden, was ihr schaden könnte. Ja, danke. Staatsbürger.
to the latest Night German. So right now, let's debunk some myths about the German citizenship application. I think I already did the first one, which is that you are always asked questions from your Einbürgerungstest, either at your appointment for document application submission or at your Einbürgerungsfeier, or on the day you have to go and collect your certificates. Now the thing is, like I said, it really depends on who you meet and how they are feeling that day. Usually you're not supposed to be asked, to be honest, to be very honest. The second is that some people feel like they have to give in their old citizenship to enable them receive the German citizenship. This used to be the case for some countries before, on the side of Germany. So Germany didn't allow dual citizenship for some countries, but from last year it became possible for certain countries to have dual citizenships. For example, Ghana, okay? But countries like Cameroon are still not allowed to have dual citizenships, regardless of the fact that Germany now allows that. But their country, Cameroon, doesn't allow that. So for those individuals whose countries don't allow dual citizenships, they have to come on the day of collecting their certificates with their passport and their Aufenthaltstitel. So they get to submit the passport and the authorities will hold it for 10 years. At least that's what they told us, okay? If before the end of this time, you decide that you want your original, like you want your country citizenship back, then you get to give them the German passport and take your passport back. If after 10 years, you don't come for it, then so be it, okay? Then the third one is that some people think that if a document is omitted during the application process, that your application will be cancelled. No, they would reach out to you and they would request that you send them those documents and ensure to send it in good time. And once you do that, your application goes through with ease, okay? Sorry guys, while I was filming, my camera got heated up. It's 29 degrees here. It's pretty hot, okay? So I just want to wrap up this video right now before I leave to run some errands, okay? And there's something I want to mention that's very important. Some people, as a matter of fact, think that getting the German citizenship means that they have automatically gotten the passport. It doesn't work like that. You need to apply for the passport separately, as well as your Ausweis, your ID card. You're not given that automatically. They will tell you, for some you can apply the same day, the next day. I think in Berlin you can do that online. But for some cities, you have to wait for a week, because then they have to send, the Einbürgerungsstelle have to send your information to the Einwohnermelder, and then you do all of that. But don't worry, in another video, I'm going to talk about how to apply for your passport and your Ausweis, as well as the cost of, the entire process from the naturalization to the passport and all of that good stuff, okay? So for all that and more, I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to stay subscribed to this channel. And if you're seeing my face for the first time and you're not subscribed to this channel, what exactly are you waiting for? Be a part of our community, okay? And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that when next I have a new video, you're instantly notified, all right? So guys, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next video. Bis dann. Tschüss.